Alright, so it's day one of BookTube week, and today I'm going to be reviewing for you, by Austin Grossman. So first of all, a little synopsis. This book is about your main character, Russell, who goes to work at Black Arts Games, which is a games company started by him and his friends when he was younger. He since left the company, so to say, and went on to try and be a lawyer, do something that he thought would get him money, while in fact he's had no hope in doing that at all. But his friends over at Black Arts Games are rolling in the dough because they make very successful video games, and he goes back to get a job with them. He quickly becomes quite important in the company thanks to some people leaving. So suddenly he finds himself having to work out this bug that's been in every Black Arts game video game since they began, since the first game that they all programmed together in their garage. And it just sort of follows him playing every one of Black Arts games, trying to find this bug, and also looking into himself and remembering the past and the times that those games were made in. So it's a really interesting concept, and I think it works too, to an extent. So I'm going to start with the positives of this book. First of all, this damn cover. Oh my god, it's gorgeous. Look at it. It's so pretty. It's a very pretty book. In fact, I may very well have picked it up because of how pretty it is. I'll tell you one thing, it looks really nice if you put it next to the cover for Ready Player One. It looks great if you put it next to that. Unfortunately, I have the hardback for Ready Player One, so it doesn't look as good, but next to the paperback, it looks swell. Another positive is that this book does have an interesting concept, and I guess it did bring me in enough for me to want to finish this book, but really, it is definitely lacking in something. Let me read you the review I wrote on Goodreads. I'm at a loss as to how I would review this book. It's not bad, in fact it's quite good, but it's far from amazing. I don't regret reading this book, I enjoyed it, but despite that, much of the time the book felt menial and boring, but at other times quite interesting. It didn't help that it kept jumping through tenses, going to the past, going to the present, merging the video game world with the real world without warning, and it mostly just caused confusion, for me anyway. So I'd say I wouldn't recommend this book, but I also wouldn't warn you not to read this book. I wrote that just after I finished reading it, and it's been about a month and a half-ish since I did read it, and since then, I've thought about it a bit more, and I did like this. I did not enjoy reading this book, but I feel like this is a book I'm probably never going to reread. This is a book that I'm probably going to be like, yeah, that's a book I read, yeah, it's alright. I wouldn't go, hey guys, read this book, which is the kind of thing I want to feel after reading a book. I want to be able to rave about it, but I can't rave about this book. It's had lots of positive reviews from other people. I feel like it's one of those, it splits you down the middle. You either enjoy it or you find it a bit boring. I found it a bit boring. It felt very menial. It felt like reading somebody doing office work, which is not something that appeals to me greatly. But despite this, I can understand why other people would really enjoy this book, and as a result, I don't want to tell you not to read it because I think it might just be me. The reason that I didn't enjoy this book was because just my own personal taste, I thought it would be perfect for me. It sounded really geeky and nerdy, and it was quite geeky and nerdy, but it just didn't capture me. It didn't capture my imagination. I suppose, it might be because the more geeky and nerdy stuff I tend to read tends to be science fiction, and this isn't. This is definitely just a contemporary novel about a normal guy in a normal world, so it's not entirely gripping, but I don't regret reading it at all. Apologies if this review is a bit scatterbrained, but as I said in my Goodreads review, I have no idea how to review this. I'm not even sure why I chose this to be my review for Monday, but I thought I'm going to force myself to try and review this because I feel like I need to talk about it, but I don't know how because I didn't really get into it, I suppose. Tell me in the comments, have you read You? Did you enjoy You? Does You look like something that maybe you would enjoy, despite the fact that I didn't enjoy it? Tell me in the comments. Tomorrow, I believe, is my review of The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. A little bit of classic American lit that I'll be reviewing for you tomorrow. See you then. Bye-bye.